December 2024. And if you see the recent action that was a few months ago, the stock has formed a strong base and it has created higher highs and higher low pattern. Plus, if you see the moving averages 20 and 50, the prices are comfortably above it. So I would recommend the viewers to go long if the stock price crosses above 420 level, and we could expect a higher target, say around 600 in say coming few months in this counter. And the stop loss for this counter should be placed below 365, which is the immediate support level.
Okay, all right. Interesting. So Swiggy is a choice for you. Weber, what about you? What would be your Rakhi stock?
So at this point, when we are seeing that at international level there are some crises, and these things can impact our market, so we should go for such type of stocks which are more dependent towards our demography. So at this point of time, I will recommend we can go for Capri Global, and for safer side we can even go for HDFC Bank. Capri Global have delivered very robust numbers in past, and because of declining repo rate, their cost of funds will also decrease. And HDFC CD ratio is decline very effectively, and in future we can expect very good growth. So these are the factors which supports their growth in upcoming quarters. So I'm quite optimistic, and these two stocks are good from my side.
Okay, all right. So Capri Global, we have also Swiggy that can be gifted. So you might want to keep an eye on these two counters. But let's begin with our queries. We have Hiten, who's written to us from Mumbai. He holds 1,950 shares of Orient Cement, bought at 254 rupees a piece, and he's asking for a short-term target on this one. Now, Orient seems to be under a lot of pressure as it saw steep cuts of about 4% in trade today itself, and our viewer is sitting on a loss of about 41,000 from this investment. Therefore, Sundar, going over to you on Orient Cement, how does technically the chart look like to you, and do you think it would be a good decision for our viewer to continue holding them because he's sitting on a loss?
Yeah, so Malika, firstly, I would like to narrate this stock. Now, if you see on daily time frame, the stock, has created a good momentum from 6 June, but after 6 June, the stock was beaten left, right, and center. And if you see from 25th June, the stock has tried to gain some kind of positive momentum, but at 22nd July, the stock failed to, sustain that momentum. So it would not be a bad idea to, book its losses. And if the viewer wants to add add the stock in his portfolio, then he could look at around 195 level where the important support level is. So I would recommend the viewer to exit this counter and add it at 195 levels.
Okay, all right. And now we have Rajesh calling us from Bengaluru. Hi Rajesh, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead. How can we help you today?
Yeah, I'm having IRCTC shares, 50 shares
Okay.
at a price of 761 rupees. I would like to know whether I can hold it back or can sell it now for long-term perspective. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And when did you purchase these shares?
It's been more than 2 years, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Vaibhav, taking this question to you, our viewer Rajesh from Bengaluru holds 50 shares of IRCTC, bought at 761 rupees a piece. And mind you, it is currently trading around those levels as well, roughly around those levels, and has seen cuts of about 8% in the past 1 month and about 22 and more than 22% cuts in the past 1 year itself. Given the fact that Rajesh has been holding on to this for the past 2 years, what should Rajesh do with these shares? And do you think these shares have any potential left in them to turn to be profitable?
So if we see currently IRCTC is trading at a lower valuation than its median PE. So currently that stock is trading at a PE of 44 and their median PE is of 66. So there are very good expectation that company can report good numbers in upcoming years. But in near terms, revenue will be sideways. We will not see any tremendous growth until government will take any new initiatives. So for near term, I will say if the view is for short term, we can exit. If as investor want to hold this stock for long term, so surely we can hold this stock, as this stock is even available at a very attractive valuation. So he can even add at lower levels, I will say.
Okay. So can add at lower levels, and maybe you would want to hold and see how this stock fares in the near future. Now we have Amol, in fact, calling us from Noida. Hi, Amol. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Please go ahead. How can we help you?
Actually, I am holding 30 shares of Gujarat Fluorochemicals
Okay.
and my buying price is 3900.
Okay.
So recently, company has declared results. Results were also good, and the stock, I think, last day before yesterday, the stock was also high in the day. So I just want to know what is the near-term target? What is the stop loss for this?
Okay, got it. Sundar, we have Amol from Noida holding 30 shares of Gujarat Fluorochemicals, bought at 3,900 rupees a piece. Although the company performed really well, but the stock seems to be going under some kind of pressure at the moment. What would your long-term recommendation to Amol be, and what is the current stop loss for him with regards to Gujarat Fluorochemicals?
Yeah, so Malika, if you look at the recent action of this counter, the stock is majorly into a kind of sideways trajectory from 3650 levels to 3390 levels, and the stock hasn't breaking out to that level. And if you see recent action, the stock has faced some kind of volatility as well. So I would recommend the viewer to place a stop loss below 3390 levels, because where the important support level is, and the stop loss could be based on closing basis, not on the spike basis.
Okay, very interesting. Now we have Pradeep joining us from Bengaluru. Hi, Pradeep. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Which stock do you hold, Pradeep? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm having 140 shares of Jubilant FoodWorks.
Okay.
Bought at 531. Now, I am a long-term investor, but the stock has not made much headway.
Correct.
So I just wanted to know whether I should hold it for another 1 or 2 years, or should I shift to either of DLF or Oberoi Realty in the real estate sector?
Oh, okay. All right. Vaibhav, our viewer from Bengaluru holds 140 shares of Jubilant FoodWorks, bought at 531. Now, although he's sitting on a 13,000 plus profit via this investment, he seems to be a little worried because this mid-cap index stock has seen some kind of headwinds pressuring the stock. In fact, the stock on a year-to-date basis is sitting on a cut of about 15% and more. Do you think he should continue holding Jubilant FoodWorks, or maybe go and invest in some real estate counters like he mentioned?
Surely he can invest on real estate counters because currently this stock is trading at a PE of 186, and I don't think so in near term this stock have that much potential to deliver a very robust revenue growth and maintain and improve margins in upcoming quarters. Margins can improve, but not that much at a that much aggressive level. So I will say that we can book our profit in this particular stock, and we can surely enter into DLF or Oberoi.
Okay, so maybe you should take an exit and enter into some real estate counters. This is a suggestion that Vaibhav is giving you. Let's talk to Manish. He's on the phone line from Mumbai. Hi, Manish. Good evening.
Thank you very much for taking my call. I hold 300 shares of Electrosteel Castings
Okay.
at the rate of 95, which I bought 6 months back.
Okay.
Since then, it went to 137 and has come back to 100. So should I add more?
Okay. Let's find this out. Sundar, our viewer Manish from Mumbai holds about 300 shares of Electrosteel Casting, bought at 95 rupees a piece, and it is trading around 99 rupees at the moment. Given how the chart structure at the moment looks like, do you think it is a good price band to buy into at the moment?
Yeah, so Malika, if you refer the weekly time frame, the stock is getting a lower highs and lower low pattern. The stock has tried to build a base from 17th Feb to till date. But again, if you see the 9th June action, the stock was trying to gain some kind of positive momentum, but it has taken a resistance at 50 weekly moving average, and the stock has fizzled out. Now, I would recommend the viewer to exit this counter, and I would again suggest the viewer, if the viewer wants to add to its portfolio, then he could add at somewhere around 80 to 85 level in that range. Otherwise, if I mean looking at a major trend, the stock is into a kind of downtrend territory, but a bottom fishing could be done at 80 to 85 levels.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for analyzing that. And let's now talk to Murli. He's joining us on the phone line from Bengaluru. Hi, Murli. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My
Please go
query,
ahead.
I
Yes.
bought the TBO Tech
Okay.
at the rate 500 shares at the rate of 1437.79.
Okay.
And the results are below par, 30% profit go lower, though the guidance of 26 showing margin improvement, but 27 will do better here for the company. Whereas equal in the hospitality sector, Chalet Hotel has given a better results.
Okay.
Excellent results rather. Should I switch over in the short term from TBCO and switch over to Chalet? Or continue with this? But I am willing to wait for 1 year. But I felt Chalet have a better growth opportunity for the coming 26 financial 26 compared to TBO. What is the view of the expert and advice for me?
Okay, got it. Vaibhav, you have an interesting stock to analyze. Our viewer from Bengaluru, Murli, holds about 500 shares of TBO Tech, bought at 1,437.79 to be precise. The stock is currently trading around 1,362 odd levels and has seen some kind of pressure because the earnings report card did not look that impressive. What would your suggestion to Murli be, and do you think he can go invest in Chalet, if not TBO Tech?
Yes, we should exit from this particular stock because stock is already trading at a very higher PE, and we are not expecting any robust growth in near terms. So yes, investor surely can invest in other stock other than TBO Tech.
Okay, all right. And now we have G.R. Reddy calling us from Vijayawada. Hi, Mr. Reddy. Good evening. Mr. Reddy, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Reddy. Please go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
I am holding RVNL share, 500 shares at the rate of 425.
Okay.
My view is long term.
Okay.
Currently trading at 338.
Right.
Can I hold exit?
Okay, all right. Let's find that out. Sundar, our viewer G.R. Reddy from Vijayawada holds 500 shares of RVNL, bought at 425 rupees a piece. And the stock seems to be down about at 337 and also saw cuts of about 2.5% in trade today itself. When do you think that U-turn happening for RVNL, despite its fundamentals being strong? And what would the stop loss for RVNL currently be?
So Malika, if you analyze the longer term trend, the stock is into a kind of downtrend on weekly time frame. The stock is creating a lower highs and lower low pattern. And if you see the recent action also, the stock has taken the rise at around 440 level, and then from that itself, the stock has fizzled out. Now, why it has taken the rise at 440 level is because the 50-day weekly moving average. And if you see from the recent action also, the momentum of the price fizzling out is a pretty higher side. So I would recommend the viewer to exit at current market price. And anyways, if the stock breaks the 310 level, then this is a kind of troublesome level, and if this level is taken out, then I would not be surprised, Malika, to see this counter trading at 210 levels.
Okay. So a cautious approach is needed for RVNL. And viewers, we're almost halfway through the show, so that means you need to get your calls hurrying up. You can remember, call us on the numbers available to you. They're right there flashing on the screen. You can also write to us on WhatsApp, but at this given point of time, do call in. We have now Shankar joining us on the phone line from Calcutta, Kolkata, in fact. Hi, Shankar. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please go ahead.
Madam, I am having Gland Pharma share.
Okay.
40 shares at 1395. So I wanted to know whether it would be advisable to hold on to it for a long term of say 1 or 2 years, or whether it would be better to shift to Natco Pharma at this stage.
Okay. Vaibhav, our viewer from Kolkata, holds 40 shares of Gland Pharma, bought at 1,395 rupees a piece. And Shankar is asking whether this would be the right time to continue holding or move and switch to Natco. I would also want you to give us an outlook on the pharma space as well, because it seems to be under pressure because of tariffs.
So my view for Gland Pharma is quite negative, as they get 54% of revenue from US. So we can expect minor level stress in upcoming quarters, and I will say we should look for those sectors which are more relying towards our India. So we should even look for those such type of stocks which don't have higher exposure toward the US or the international areas. So that's why I will not even recommend Gland Pharma, and I will even say that we should be not looking for the pharma for the near term, or if we want, we should look for those stock who have higher exposure in India. My view for Gland Pharma is quite pessimistic.
Okay, okay. So pessimistic not just on Gland Pharma, but also the pharma space. And you should be, remember, the suggestion coming here is that because of tariffs and exposure to the US, one needs to be careful about the stocks that they're picking at this given juncture. Now we have Kostab calling us from Kolkata as well. Hi Kostab, good evening.
Good evening.
Please go ahead with your question. Which stock do you hold and how many shares?
I actually hold 42 shares of Balkrishna Industries.
Okay.
And the average is about 2720.
Okay, okay.
My view is for 3 years and 3 to 5 years. And what shall be advisable? Is it advisable to exit this counter and shift to other, or to hold on to it?
Okay, let's find that out. Vaibhav, I'll take this question back to you because this is more of a fundamental question that's been asked. Balkrishna Industries is the counter that we're discussing. Our viewer from Kolkata holds 45 shares, bought at 2,720 rupees a piece. He seeks a 3-year long-term advice on this one. What would your suggestion to him be?
So if we see currently stock is trading at a PE of 32, and I will say the stock is trading at a very attractive valuation. And in auto space, demand is quite, I will say, stressed. But in 3 years, we can surely expect a good growth in demand. So yes, surely we can hold this stock if our view is for long term. But we should consider this point that in near terms, we can expect minor level stress in this particular stock. But for long term, my view is quite positive, because in long term, we will surely going to see good demand in auto segment.
Level stress should not worry you because the long-term outlook looks a little promising. So let's go across to Suhas now from Bengaluru. Hi Suhas, good evening. Suhas, can you hear me? Are you there? Okay, never mind. We have Suhas's query. The phone dropped, unfortunately. Suhas from Bengaluru holds 500 shares of Unimck Aerospace and Manufacturing, bought at 1,240 rupees a piece, and is seeking a long-term advice. Sundar, taking this one to you. Unimck is down about 3.27% in trade today, and Suhas is also sitting on a massive loss. As a technical expert, how would you describe the current chart movement, and do you think from a long-term perspective it is advisable to continue holding?
Yeah, so Malika, referring to the daily time frame of this stock now, if you see the yearly high was made somewhere around 1523 level, and then from there itself the stock has fizzled out. The stock is trying to gain some positive momentum in the in the second month, that is the February and the March itself. But again, say around June, mid-June, the stock again, given out all its momentum. Now, if you see current price action, the stock is getting a lower rise and lower low pattern. Plus, the moving averages are not showing me any positiveness in itself. And if you see the MACD, that is a technical indicator, it is also giving me a negative crossover. So I would recommend the viewer to book its losses. And if the viewer wants to add the counter, then I would recommend the viewer to add the counter somewhere around 900 level. Because again, if this counter closes below the 1050 level, then this is a troublesome number, and I could expect more selling pressure from this counter, and I would not be surprised to see the stock trading at 900 or say around 850 levels. So I would recommend the viewer to exit this counter and add at 850 levels.
Okay, exit and add at 850 levels is the advice on Unimck Aerospace. Now we have Varun on the phone line from Hyderabad. Hi Varun, good evening.
Yeah, hi ma'am, good evening. Thank you for picking my question.
Most
so I have 3,50,000 rupees with me. So I have picked up 2 stocks. One is the Great Eastern Shipping Company, which has a great price to book ratio, as well as it is fundamentally it is good, and I am more interested in the shipping company. Second one is the JSW Infra. Even though the price it is a bit on the higher side, but I would like still to bet on the great Indian theme for the next 7 years. So I can hold both of these stocks till 2032. So would like to understand experts' opinion.
And you have a corpus of 3 lakh rupees, am I right?
3,25,000, ma'am.
3,25,000. Okay. Vaibhav, Varun from Hyderabad has given you two options. One, JSW Infra, and the second, GE Shipping. He has a corpus of 3,25,000 rupees, which he is interested in allocating in both these two companies. He's also mentioned that while GSW Infra, from a valuation perspective, looks on the higher side, GE is kind of considerate, moderate, as well as reasonable when it comes to its valuation and PE multiple. Given these two counters, do you think 3,25,000 should be gone ahead and invested in these two totally, entirely, or not?
First of all, I would like to say that we should do some diversification. We should not even invest our total fund in these two stocks. And between these two stocks, I like JSW Infra. This stock have higher PE because management is quite aggressive, and we can even expect good numbers in upcoming years, but not in near terms. So we can even look for the NBFCs. We can even look for the pharma, FMCG. We can look for the banks. So as I told that at this point of time, we should be little cautious, and we should select our sectors by considering the international problems.
Okay, all right. And now we have Srinivasan calling us from Nellore. Hi Srinivasan, good evening. Srinivasan, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi Srinivasan, can you hear me? If you can, please go ahead.
Ma'am, I am Srinivasan from Nellore.
Yes, I can hear you. Hi Srinivasan, welcome to Ask Profit. What's your question?
Ma'am, I want to know whether it is correct time to buy the Titan for long term.
Okay, all right. Let's get to know that. Sundar, Srinivasan from Nellore wants to know whether this is the right time to buy Titan. What's your suggestion to him?
Yeah, so Malika, if you refer the weekly time frame, the stock is into a kind of falling channel pattern. So the ideal level for entering this stock is not at current market price, but somewhere deep around 3,200 level where the support level lies. So I would recommend the viewer not to jump into the current market price, but to add the stock at 3,200 levels.
Okay, got it. And now let's take up another WhatsApp query. Teja has written to us from Bazaar and is asking whether this is the right time to enter Kalyan Jewellers. Now remember, just for context, Kalyan Jewellers recently came out with its earnings report card and it wasn't that bad. In fact, its revenue grew by about 31% and EBITDA also saw a 38% jump, with net profit jumping by almost 48.5%. Taking this query to you, Vaibhav, how does Kalyan Jeweller as a jewelry counter look like to you, and do you think currently is the right time to go ahead and invest?
So Kalyan Jewellers numbers were not as per the expectation. Numbers were good, but numbers were not as per the expectation. So we should look for those stocks in which have ability to deliver good numbers in upcoming quarters. So I will say my approach for Kalyan Jewellers is quite pessimistic.
Okay, all right. So pessimistic approach to Kalyan Jewellers, so you might have to wait and watch. But on that note, Vaibhav and Sundar, thank you so much for joining this edition of Ask Profit and being so sporty with your answers and taking them one by one so patiently. But viewers, a short note to you, we're live with Ask Profit both in the morning as well as in the evening. So keep these numbers handy. Remember, you can get all your stock related queries answered only on NDTV Profit, and continue watching our channel as we have Profit 360 lined up for you right on the other side.
behind some of India's most respected business empires. But you've rarely heard them speak. Now, for the first time, these leaders open up on succession, conflict, governance, and inheritance. Join me as we step inside boardrooms and living rooms of India's most enduring family businesses for real stories, raw conversation, resilient legacies, building legacy.
हेलो बोलिए मैडम, डब्बा ट्रेडिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको? हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा.
We investigated a shady advisory firm that has spent big bucks on advertising on the front pages of national dailies.
ये आपको बिल्कुल उसका ऐसे हल्का सा भी खौफ नहीं है?
मैडम एक बार को खौफ किस लिए रखना चाहिए तो बताओ, कौन सा गलत काम कर रहा हूँ मैं?
After our report, we also saw NSE came out with a cautionary circular to the investors. Market Regulator Securities and Exchange Board of India has also come out with a release talking about the actions that it has taken. Cyber complaint has also been filed against the entities involved in this entire dabba trading scam.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Russian President Vladimir Putin briefs Prime Minister Modi on the latest developments concerning Ukraine. The Prime Minister reiterates India's consistent position for peaceful resolution of the conflict.
I don't know what somebody says about how healthy our economy is. Let me tell you, we're the fastest growing major economy in the world. Even our detractors say that we're growing at 6.5%.
Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri hits back at US President Trump's dead economy jab, reiterates that India is the fourth largest economy.
Objecting. So to my mind, there is a lot of double standards in this business that's being talked about.
Shashi Tharoor calls out US President's double standards for 50% tariff on India and asks if US dollars aren't fueling a Russian war machine. That's an NDTV exclusive later on the show. The Cabinet approves 30,000 crore rupees in funds to compensate OMCs for LPG subsidies, cutting the number of LPG cylinders under the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana scheme from 12 to 9 per year. The Nifty falls for the sixth consecutive week while broader markets extend their losses for the third straight week. Additionally, all sectoral indices end the week in negative territory. The Cabinet withdraws the Income Tax Bill 25, which was originally introduced in the Lok Sabha in February, this to incorporate the recommendations of the Select Committee and avoid confusion from multiple versions of the bill. Nadir Godrej of Godrej Industries anticipates that artificial intelligence would lead to job reductions in the FMCG sector too. He also hints at fewer job opportunities ahead, but emphasizes that Godrej will focus on retaining employees rather than engaging in mass layoffs. Tata Motors Q1 profit plunges by 63% to over 3,900 crore but meets estimates. Volume decline and profitability drop in JLR impacts overall performance. The management says US tariffs trigger a £250 million impact during the quarter. Good evening, you're watching Profit 360 on NDTV Profit and I'm Sanjana. Let's go straight to the big story this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has invited Russian President Vladimir Putin to visit India later this year for an annual bilateral summit. This reaffirms India's position on strengthening its ties with Russia. The Prime Minister announced this in a post on X that he had a detailed conversation with Vladimir Putin. He also reviewed the progress on the bilateral agenda of both the countries and said that the leaders reaffirmed their commitment to further deepen India-Russia special and privileged strategic partnership. President Vladimir Putin also shared the latest developments on Ukraine. Meanwhile, Hardeep Singh Puri, Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, has responded to President Donald Trump's dead economy jab at India. During a fireside chat at the Pioneer Biofuels 360 Summit in New Delhi, he highlighted India's robust economic potential. Puri declared that vilification campaigns will not hinder India's energy growth. His remarks come amid escalating trade tensions between the US and India. Earlier in the day, President Trump reiterated his stance that the US would not resume trade talks with India until the tariff issues are resolved.
I don't know what somebody says about how healthy our economy is. Let me tell you, we're the fastest growing major economy in the world. Even our detractors say that we're growing at 6.5%. Our energy needs are 3 times those. Are you want to say something?
I said we're not dead, clearly.
We are at a stage where we are the 4th largest economy and we're growing at 6.5%. I don't want to name countries. The country which is at 5th position or the country at 3rd position, how much are they growing? I'm not going to say it, but they're much slower than ours. I mean, without taking names, we are growing at 6.5%, they're growing between 0 and 2%. Now, it stands to reason, and I'm not going by the assessments of the International Energy Agency in Paris, which says in the next 2 decades, in the next 20 years, 25% of the increase in global total demand will come from India.
And staying with the India-US trade tensions, Shashi Tharoor has called out President Donald Trump's approach as transactional and belittling. Speaking to NDTV's Maria Shakil, he highlighted unfairness in Trump's recent actions.
Mr. Trump is famously transactional. I don't think we should have any illusions about that. But what is problematic here is, first of all, the incredible unfairness of this particular imposition. Because there are other countries that buy oil from Russia and they haven't been penalized in the same way. I mean, the Chinese buy far more oil and gas from Russia, not to mention trading a whole host of other items, than we do. But they've been given a 90-day negotiating window while we have only 21 days. So from 27th of August, in other words, our goods in the US will be subject to a 50% tariff, while Chinese goods come in at 30%. Now, what does that say about Mr. Trump's priorities? What happened to the strategic relationship with India? What happened to the geopolitical rivalry the US was supposed to have with China? Clearly, there is now a need for us to fundamentally rethink some of our assumptions. It may just be a negotiating tactic. Mr. Trump is a famously unpredictable and temperamental negotiator. But I'm afraid some of the language used was very, very sort of belittling. And to my mind, we may just have to insist that our self-respect doesn't permit us to surrender in this kind of process. It really, really is severely troubling. In the case of oil and gas, it's not only us. The European Union is buying more oil and gas than we are. The Chinese are buying more oil and gas than we are. We don't particularly like the idea of another country for its foreign policy goals telling us what we can and cannot buy. Not to mention that the oil and gas we buy then comes into a larger Indian mix of oil and gas from various sources. And some of our refined oil products coming out, particularly from the Jamnagar refinery, are then purchased by the very countries in Europe, in UK, US, and so on, who otherwise